Hey y'all, Caralee here, and I'm sitting out in my grandparents' backyard. There are over 100 different plant species here, and today we are going to get to explore just a few of them. We're going to be talking about plant parts and function, and then after we explore some plants, we get to make our very own plant species. So join me out in the garden and let's get started. But first things first, let's talk about the different parts of a plant and their functions. Roots are normally found underground, and their primary functions are to anchor the plant in place, store food reserves, and absorb water and nutrients from the soil to send to the stem of the plant. The stem's main function is to provide support to the plant, holding up the leaves, flowers, and buds. Stems can also store food for the plant, and they send water up and down the plant to its different parts. The main job of the leaf is to produce food for the plant through photosynthesis. Chlorophyll, which makes plants green, absorbs light energy and makes it into food for the plant. The flower's primary purpose is reproduction. They are the site of pollination and reproduction of the plant with the help of pollinators. Pollinators include bees, butterflies, hummingbirds, and bats. The fruit's job is to protect the seeds and hold them inside until it's time for their dispersal. A lot of plants disperse seeds by the wind, but some seeds are dispersed by latching onto clothing or fur, or if a fruit is eaten by a wild animal, they might poop out the seeds in a new location. Oh, the wonders of nature. Seeds have many functions, but some of their main ones include nourishment of the embryo for reproduction, dispersal to a new location, and dormancy during unfavorable weather conditions. Now for today's activity, we are going to go out into our green spaces and try to find one example of each plant part from a different plant. Then, at the end of our lesson, we are going to put them all together to make our very own plant species. Now, let's head out into the garden. All right, we're coming out into the garden and we're going to see what different plant parts we can find. There's a bunch of different plants out here, so it looks like we'll have a lot to choose from. First, I think I'm going to choose my flower from this daisy plant. And this will be the top of my new plant species. I think I'm going to choose a few leaves off of this rhododendron. Now remember to only pick leaves off of plants that have plenty to go around because we don't want to accidentally kill something by taking its leaves. Okay, for the stem part of my plant, I think we're going to use the stem of this dying fern plant where not all of it's dead, but I took one of the stems from it that looked like I wasn't able to revive it, and I'll plant the rest to see if they'll survive. But once they are healthy, they should look like this fern here. So far I have my flower, my leaf, and my stem. Next, let's see if we can find some roots. Now for our root part of the plant, we have this moss here that was growing up in our driveway, and earlier this morning we took it out. You can see the top part of the plant here is the green, is where it gets its food, but underneath we have some roots that were down in the ground sticking out here, so we're going to take some moss roots and add it to our new plant species. Here we have an astilbe plant, and it has some berries growing at the top here. They're also called baneberries according to my plant identification app, or white baneberry. My app also told me that these are highly poisonous, and so are the leaves, and should only be handled when you're wearing gloves. So we're going to leave them on the plant, but I will add them to my drawing of my new plant species once I start assembling it inside. Here's the fruit of the Solomon seal. You can see it under the plant there, hanging down and holding onto the plant seeds. We'll leave that on the plant, but we'll draw it and add it to our picture when we assemble our new plant species. Our seeds, we have these nice begonias. I'm actually going to take them from the middle here. In the middle of the flower, we're going to grab these yellow seeds for our new plant species. But just a few. We don't want to kill the plant. And there you have it, my very own plant species. We have the flower of a daisy, the stem of an old dead fern, leaves of the rhododendron. I have two different fruits. One's the white baneberry and then one's the Solomon seals. The roots are from a moss plant. They kind of come here off the bottom. And then the seeds of a begonia. Now the last thing I have to do is name my plant. And since my dog's name is Stevie, I think I'm going to call this plant Stevie's Wonder. Alright y'all, that's it for today. Thanks for joining me and I hope you enjoy your new plants. See you next time. Bye!